Ever wonder why so little is known about the Chinese Communist Party? Is everyone in China a communist? Is the CCP's government of China even legitimate? What do you know about the Chinese Communist Party, or, for short, the CCP? Chances are your answer is going to be very little. For most people in the West who are just getting on with their everyday lives, the word CCP hardly means anything, nor does it seem particularly relevant. Why should anyone care about some obscure political party in a country tucked thousands of miles away? You may also have some Chinese immigrant friends who you find pleasant and exciting, and you think to yourself, well, whichever party that runs China can't be too bad, right? When you see crowds of Chinese waving the Communist China flag to welcome the high-ranking CCP officials, what do you feel? You might assume these people are just patriots to show love to CCP leaders. Sadly, these innocent assumptions are dead wrong. Worse still, these assumptions of irrelevance or harmlessness may even be dangerous. Hi, I'm Light with FTT Channel. We are a group of freedom-loving Chinese patriots who wish to bridge the world with real China and vice versa. We debunk lies and clarify common misconceptions. We want to give you a pair of glasses with a fair and truthful lens through which you will be able to see China the way a native Chinese sees it. In this short videos on the Chinese Communist Party, I will take you through the most critical aspects of the CCP, unveil some of the biggest lies it has told and why they matter to you, and help you unlearn the popular narratives which the CCP has been pushing for decades. Continue to follow us on this channel. The Chinese Communist Party has chosen to stay under the public radar screen in the West, despite being the actual owner and commander of the world's second largest economy. Did you ever wonder why? What if I tell you that obscurity is by design and probably with an insidious intent? Within China, the CCP is this all-powerful, omnipresent organization that controls virtually every aspect of the life of the 1.4 billion Chinese people. It commands a degree of power and control over the Chinese people and the economy like no other political party in the world. The closest comparable is probably Hitler's Nazi Party and the Soviet Communist Party of the past and other modern-day wannabes such as Maduro, Fidel Castro, and Kim Jong-un. But its power and cruelty will likely put all these comrades of the same ideology to shame. CCP hides behind the facade of a government that mimics in many ways democratically elected governments in the West. In this episode, we will share some basic facts about the CCP. First off, the Chinese Communist Party is the only political party in China. The people do not elect it, nor does it permit any other political organization to exist, let alone challenge it. The party essentially wrote the country's constitution, which enshrines its paramount role in the political system. By the way, since it came to power in 1949, the CCP has conveniently revised the constitution half a dozen times to consolidate its power and to cover up its crimes against its people. There are only 90 million CCP members, among a total population of 1.4 billion. No, the Chinese are not all communists. Most of the 90 million have been recruited into the party because they wish to take jobs with the government or state-owned companies. A small fraction goes on to fill the ranks of the CCP bureaucracy, but it's just like a badge they have to wear to work for most of them. The way the CCP runs its organization bears more resemblance to organized crime than modern political parties. Ordinary members have no rights, but tons of constraints on their behavior and often have to pledge allegiance to the organization at all costs. The power is concentrated at the very top with a small clique of members. Clans and factions are common, and political infighting is often carried out to fight corruption, which is rampant and permeates all ranks of the bureaucracy. After a bloody civil war with the government of the Republic of China, CCP came to power in 1949. At that time, it promised the world and its people democracy and the rule of law, modeled after the US. The Republic of China retreated to Taiwan in 1949 and later turned Taiwan into one of the world's most vibrant economies and democracies. CCP came to power through a coup with the help of the Soviets and the consent of the US. Legitimacy has always been on shaky ground for the CCP. And it goes to immense lengths to defend its legitimacy internationally by trashing and bullying Taiwan and domestically by fooling the people into a never-ending list of empty promises. The Chinese totalitarian regime ruled by the CCP deprives citizens of their rights on a wide scale and systematically curtails freedoms to retain power. 1.4 billion Chinese cannot practice the religion or belief, cannot express their opinions openly, and cannot form or join groups of their choosing without fear of harassment, arrest, or retribution. Members of minority groups suffer from arbitrary mass detention, Orwellian-style surveillance, political indoctrination, torture, forced abortions and sterilization, and state-sponsored forced labor. I know I have raised more questions in this video than answers. Trying to undo decades of CCP propaganda about itself and misinformation about China is a monumental task, which takes time. We appreciate your patience. We expect to unveil answers to questions raised so far and much more in the episodes to follow.